Blurry places. Places that were neither dark nor light, but both. Somewhere between those edges, I spotted a spider, descending from the ceiling, zipping along a line of silk. Have you ever noticed that when you see a spider, they seem to realize you're aware of them? They stop moving, as if gathering energy to sprint away from impending death. I understand that frozenness, and I know that urge to run. I figured the spider had come in from the rain, and so instead of airlifting it out, as was my habit, I let it be. And then my mind filled with the most welcoming sound, as if a group of tiny monks had taken up residence in the center of my brain, made my pituitary glands into their chapel, and chanted there. An intense hum wove through their chant, vibrating me from the inside out. From the hum came a small voice. "Hello, what you working on?" I closed my eyes. That voice was not the spider, I told myself. You obviously need some sleep. But when I peeked, there was a spider dangling from the lantern, only a few feet from my face. A distinct feeling of being stared at washed over me. When I stared back, the hum spiked briefly and then dimmed. "Oh, I'm sorry. I had no intention of frightening you. I should have known better. Are you okay? You're the first human I've ever met, besides Jackson and Jules, of course. So I may have messed it up. Was the hum totally over the top?" I said, "Spider, if you're really talking to me, wave your legs." The hum rose in waves like giggles, and then the spider lifted some legs and did a full pirouette. "I'm Lucy," she said, "and you're Fiona, right? But you tell everyone to call you Fiona? You have an awfully nice house. I've been waiting for you to notice me, but I'm terrible with my patience. Sam thinks it'll get better as I get older, but even the hatchlings are better at it than me. Even Mortimer. He can stay still in a web for hours, or at least he used to be able to." She trailed off, and a sad note appeared in the hum, a lone blues reprise. That note caused me to take my very first good long look at Lucy. She struck me then as both a very fragile and a very tough creature. Her little legs, her little body, about the size of a dime, though divided unevenly into two, was brown. And the long legs stretching from her cephalothorax were also brown, maybe a shade lighter than peanut butter. Patient or no, she stood absolutely still while I examined her. "But how can I hear you?" I asked. The giggles rose again. "Well, I am a hobo." The images of gypsies passing through my mind did little clarify. "A hobo?" I asked. "Like the train hoppers?" "No, silly. Obviously, I'm a hobo spider." The word spider came across with obvious emphasis, and I did feel rather silly. More so when she waggled all 8 of her legs at me. "Right, but how?" Wait, do you mean to tell me I'm the first hobo you've met? No way. I'm sorry. Really? I'm your first? Feeling rather naked, I nodded. "If you mean the first spider that's descended out of nowhere and started talking to me inside my head, then yes, as a matter of fact, you are." "But how can that be? You must have welcomed me somehow. Are you from Seattle? Maybe you know Jules?" I wondered then if there were lots of people out there communicating with spiders and I had yet to learn about it. Was I that out of it, living in the cave with my studies? And what did she mean somehow. What a frightening thought. No, if I'm the first hobo you've met, you wouldn't know. Don't be scared. When I realized that I had voiced nothing of my fears aloud, my whole world began to crumble. Not only could I hear this creature, she could hear me, my thoughts. I'd spent most of my 28 years building my mind, brick by brick, into an isolated refuge. And somehow, some way, Lucy had slipped in through a crack. I knew nothing of the hobos then, had no idea of their civil war, nor that Lucy's one true love was lost to her. Fear coursed through me. Lucy reached one long leg and carefully brushed my cheek, and I refocused on her. That concentration required all of my attention and left no room for self-consciousness, left no room for fear. Really, she said, there's no reason to be afraid. Please, we've only just started to be friends. And that was the word that did it. Friends. What can I say? Right then, I really needed one. So I let go of disbelief and I surrendered to awe.